I absolutely love and adore a weird girl book, but there are a lot of them that I would never in a million years recommend to beginners. Some of them can be such an amazing time and a wild ride, and you learn so much from them and have just the most amazing reading experience. And some of them are deeply, deeply uncomfortable. I have 4 different books that have really touched me and I have thought a lot about, and they also happen to be extremely weird. Not everybody gets a weird girl book, okay? It's not for everybody, but I do think that these books are going to give you a good indication about whether or not the genre might be for you. So the first one I absolutely adore. There's actually a reading vlog of me reading it on my channel, and I have thought about it so much and I cannot wait to read it again, and that is Swamplandia by Karen Russell. Now, just a moment for this little alligator. And I was gonna say, like, I think it's just that this is an older book that I haven't heard a lot about this, because this was actually a Pulitzer Prize finalist. And like, I know what you might be thinking. No, that's not a weird girl book. It's weird, okay? This is a weird ass book, okay? So this story takes place in Florida, and it takes, the setting is very immersive, and there's just so many weird things. This is a strange book. This is a strange book. So this family lives on, owns, and operates a alligator wrestling theme park. You did hear that correctly. And the swamp that they live in, like where they live, you can only get there by boat. Like, it's isolated, it's eerie, and what the hell is an alligator wrestling theme park? Like, what is that? They all live and work at this theme park, and the mom is like the main attraction. Like, the mom is the main wrestler, she's the main actress, and she dies. And so she passes away, and so they basically become destitute because she was their like hook to get people in because she was so good at her job. And so a little things about the family members that we have going on. This is a very, there's a lot of moving parts here. So basically the dad is attempting to get them money so that they can live, because they're gonna have to shut down essentially. So the dad leaves the 3 children, there's 2 daughters and the oldest is a son, and leaves them to fend for themselves with the alligators, which they all are named Seth. They're all named Seth, and they refer to the alligators as Seths. And so anytime I see an alligator or a crocodile now, I'm like, oh, it's a Seth. Like, it's so, that has stuck with me. It's just, again, guys, this is a weird book. So the oldest son, to try to make money, he's also trying to make money, but his way of making money is he defects and goes to a rival theme park that is a water park that is modeled after Dante's 7 Levels of Hell. Yeah. The oldest daughter falls in love with a very mysterious swamp man. And in the middle of all of this is Ava. She is, I think she's like 12, 13. And she goes off to find her sister in the woods because something happens and her sister is not there anymore. She's left by herself. And I did not expect to cry during this book. I really did. These characters really touched me, and it was weirdness done perfectly. Like, there was just the right amount of weird and like, what is going on? Like, this family is a freak show with touching, heartwarming moments. The storyline is really, really good. The end was amazing. It really just like makes you think about reality a lot. Like, you're reading it and you're like, is this real right now? Like, what is this? And I think that that is a really big testament to the weird girl genre. Next is The Lightness by Emily Temple. I have never seen this book anywhere, and that feels very criminal. So the setting for this book is a Buddhist meditation retreat. And our main character goes there because about a year ago, her father disappeared and just left their family, just up and abandoned and left their family to go to this Buddhist retreat, and he never came back. And the mother is very controlling and overbearing, at least that is what we are made to believe. Our main character, Olivia, she gets to the retreat and her father is nowhere to be found. And so she starts asking people all of these questions about what might have happened to him. And on her journey, she makes friends with these girls who are trying to achieve the lightness, which is essentially where you float into the air. And so they start doing all of these super weird, bogus things in order to achieve the lightness, and like a very specific set of circumstances has to happen in order for you to be meditating and float, and these girls are determined to do it. They will do it at any cost. And so you're following our main character, and she gets really, really pulled into this group of girls and trying to figure out what all this means. There are things that she is hiding from home. And then underneath it all, you're like, oh, what the heck happened to her dad? Next was a personal favorite of mine from the year 2024, and that is TwoStep Devil by Jamie Quattro. Again, every single one of these books has 2 or 3 settings or scenes that are just so vividly seared into my brain, and this one definitely has quite a few. This one actually takes place in Lookout Mountain, Alabama, which was very interesting for me because I have been there 1 or 2 times. I live in Georgia. It's just kind of like people know what Lookout Mountain is around here. If you're from the South, you might know. That might sound familiar to you. And our main character is a 70-year-old named the Prophet, and he gets visions sent to him of the future from this entity that he recalls TwoStep, and because he like dances when he sees him sometimes. And so what Prophet does with these is he paints them. So he's an artist, and so he paints these visions. He has this rundown cabin, and he is just putting on the wall all of these things that TwoStep has told him. And the entire time you're like, okay, is this dude crazy or is TwoStep real? Okay, like what's happening here? Again, the whole theme of these books is what they're showing you real? Is it, you know, just the human psyche doing what it does? And so while he is getting supplies, I believe it is, he encounters what he believes to be he witnesses what he believes to be a kidnapping of a young girl. And so he takes her because he thinks that he is saving her, and the story goes from there. They form a very unexpected bond. They learn a lot about the world and each other, and it is very strange. Some parts of this like made me like, sometimes in these books, it's why I don't read like body horror. I've talked about it before. This doesn't have body horror, but there were a few elements where I was like, oh, I'm kind of nauseous. Oh, I don't like that. But it wasn't enough for me to like not read it, if that makes any sense. It was just like, sometimes authors are just too good with their words, and you can just see what you're reading just a little bit too clearly, if you know what I mean. And so Jamie Quattro did a great job with that. I do not think this book gets enough credit. It is so immersive. There's a really, really great narrative on abortion and bodily autonomy and America as a whole, and it just has so much underlying, and it's very, very fantastic. Okay, so for our last one, I did decide to pick a book that was just a teeny bit more well-known, just in case, and it is superior to Bunny for me, and that is All's Well by Mona Awad. A moment for this book cover, because I mean, just amazing. So I really enjoy Mona Awad's writing, and where a lot of people say that you need to start with Bunny, I do think that that is a good entry point, but I do think that All's Well does have just as much merit. And could be slightly more accessible a little bit, I think. This book is about our main character, and she is a drama teacher. And she is living every day in excruciating pain. She has chronic pain in her back. She has a drug addiction, kind of. She's very, very dependent on her painkillers that she takes. And she is bound and determined to make All's Well That Ends Well by Shakespeare the play that they are going to put on this semester. But none of her students want to do it. Like, they are like, absolutely not. We are not putting that on. And they kind of hijack her class and hijack everything that's going on because they want to put on, I think it's Macbeth. I think that they want to put on Macbeth. I'm pretty sure that that's the play. And so as our main character is losing control of these college students, she is just basically like given up. She meets these 3 men that want to help her put on All's Well, but she has no idea where they came from. She has no idea who they are, and they know like a lot of really intimate things about her life that nobody should know. And so she decides to take their word for it, and they help her put on this play and take control of these kids again. And Mona Awad does her thing. Chaos ensues. This part, I think where this one feels more accessible to me is that Bunny, the majority of it feels like a fever dream. Like, you are just like, what the hell is happening? What is going on here? And that's good, especially for this genre, but All's Well, it was the majority of it, like, you get what's happening, and then there are scenes interspersed where you're having that fever dream feeling. So I think that this is super entertaining, super funny, and just a really, really good place to start if you want to get into this genre. It's really been too long since I've read a weird girl book, and so I am looking for recommendations. So let me know below which one your favorite is, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.